This is the Just Because Buzz. I'm Merritt Crawford. Thank you for joining me. This is FlossTube number 36, and it is Thursday, January 11th. Happy New Year. I want to welcome you to my channel. If you've never been here before and this is your first time, welcome. Or if you're a returning subscriber, I would love to just tell you Happy New Year and thank you for coming back. And it's great to be here today. Today is going to be just a catch up on my normal FlossTube. I'm going to do a WIP parade and you'll see lots of new starts and what I'm working on. I have some, let's see, I have a FFO that was a long time in showing you. It's been done for a while, but I'm excited to share that with you. I have some FOs, quite a few of those, and then I have some WIPs to share with you too. I have quite a few WIPs. It's a little more than I really normally would have, but I've just really had a start-itis lately, and so anyway, I've just been enjoying it, and I have no doubt that I will finish what I've started. So we'll go through those in just a few minutes. I did just have a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think the last time I actually filmed was a Christmas ornament and different finishes and things like that, and thank you all so much for watching that. I enjoyed filming that. But we had a wonderful holiday. Got to see my daughter down in Alabama, and that was a lot of fun, and my son-in-law, got to spend time with them. Got to see my parents as well in Lexington and my sister, and so it was just a really nice holiday. Traveling went well, so that I was very thankful for. So with the new year, sometimes folks like to have a word of the year, and I've heard quite a few FlossTubers mentioning their word of the year. I've done that. I did one last year, and kind of funny, I didn't stick to it very well because I don't remember it very well. I think it was maybe consistency, or I'm not even sure. I didn't even go look it up. That's how I didn't do too well with my word of the year last year. But this year, instead of a word of the year, I love alliterations. So if you've been around a little bit, you've heard different ones, including myself, my friend Celeste over at Celeste Creates, and Katie at So Tattered. Wool Wednesday, so love a good alliteration. So that helps motivate me to work on things. And so on Wednesdays, we have been doing, especially prior to getting really thick into the holiday season, back in the fall, we were doing Wool Wednesdays, and I want to get back to that. And then something I want to start new this year is a Tuesday tutorial. So you can see that I like alliterations. So my word of the year is actually 3 words. So it is faith, fearless, and forward. And I'm going to refer to some notes because I've written some notes about this, and I thought it would be easier to share if I wrote some things down. So as you know, I am a Christian, and my faith is very important to me. Or if you're new here, you may have not known that, but I am a Christian and my faith is very important to me. And so I want to stay grounded in my faith through Bible study and prayer. And so that's the faith part. The fearless part is being bold in my faith and my business decisions. So I have a small business. Some of you may not know that if you're new here. I have So Just Because, and then I've recently branched out with Souvenir Stitches, which is a cross stitch design company. With currently I have 2 designs out, and they are silhouette designs, and I'll share those with you later on in the video. And then I have forward. So to move forward in my walk and in my desire to share my designs and expand my business. So I went with a 3-word alliteration to be my inspiration for the year. And so it's going to be faith, fearless, and forward. And a neat thing that happened last year was I loaned some patterns They're Madame Chantilly Advent Calendar patterns. And I loaned them to Miss Marlene, Stitching by the Lake. And she sent them back to me with a sweet gift. And the gift that she sent me was this sweet little pillow that says Faith. So thank you, Miss Marlene. It is so pretty and I love it. All right. So now that you know that I like alliterations, and I have a 3-word word of the year, and I like Wool Wednesdays, and there's going to be Tuesday tutorials on my channel soon, we're going to move on. So I want to share an old FFO. I do that typically in my videos, and I'm going to have to dig it out because I've gotten so organized. And then I organized this video several days and just kept waiting for the perfect time to film. So finally I'm here. So what I want to share with you is Love Whirligig. And this is a heart and hand pattern, and I happen to have 2. So this will be our giveaway at the end of the video, and I'll share that with you in a little while. But this is the old FFO that I want to share with you. And let's see if I can find it in my stack of things. Here it is. So I stitched it on a pink linen. It might be an even weave even. It's been a while since I stitched this. And I used, I'm pretty sure, the called for colors. I did, as you can see, a circle finish with it, which is pretty easy to do, I would say. A lot of my Creative Memories tools have come in handy, quite handy. The cording, I used the Vanna tutorial on Vanna Pfeiffer tutorial, Twisted Stitcher tutorial on making the cording and attaching it. And then I used a pretty Valentine quilting cotton on the back. So that is an old FFO, and this will be our giveaway at the end of the video. Okay, so next I want to share with you a new FFO. So something that has been recently finished. It has been finished for a while, but I haven't done a regular video in a while. So without further ado, this is Strawberry Fields Forever. And this was framed by Miss Paula at Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio, and it has museum glass on it. And it was stitched for my daughter, Katie, for her graduation from college. And so this is a blackbird design. I stitched it on the week's called for fabric, and I used the called for threads, with the exception of there was a thread here, and I don't recall what it was, that was really kind of goldy looking. It's used elsewhere in the pattern, but I didn't like it as a vine, so I just chose one of the other greens to be the vine. But everything else is the same. So this is Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird. This is part of the, it was a series done to commemorate the Beatles. Barb was a huge Beatles fan. And so this was after she had visited in London or England. This was an inspiration from that. So I'm pleased with how it turned out, and Katie loves it and has it hanging on a wall. The frame that we chose, I just love. There's some detail of the frame. And I just love it. All right. So now I'm going to move into my FOs. So I have quite a few of those as well because, again, it's been a while since I've done a regular FlossTube. So I'm going to get a little tray here ready for us to use so that I can hold things up and you can see it. Okay, so the first thing up is Bee in My Bonnet Snow Globe by Lori Holt. This is on Stitch Card Set G. I used a 30 count blue mystery fabric and my floss conversion. Like I said, I had this all organized for several days, and now I'm kind of struggling to make sure that I have everything. So these are the stitch cards that I'm talking about, and I stitched the little snow globe. This is set G. And I will probably make it into like a little pillow. So those were really fun to stitch on. I stitched on these during the holidays, just something fun and little to stitch on. All right, so the next one is Christmas Cottage 2019. This is by Ribbon Wood Cottage, and I'm gonna hold this up for you. Let's see, that's not the right one though. Oh, here it is. So this is Ribbon Wood Cottage 2019. She has an Etsy shop, and that's where I found these, as well as she's on Instagram. If you just type in Ribbon Wood Cottage, it will pop up. It's Debbie Booth is her name. And I stitched this on a mystery, the same blue that I stitched the little snow globe on. I stitched, and it's about a 30 count. I forgot to iron things, so please excuse the wrinkles. And again, this will be like a little pillow. She finished it as a little pillow, I believe, and then it'll go like in a little bowl or some kind of little vignette. But I just love the quilts. I thought that was so fun. I really enjoyed it. So Ribbon Wood Cottage, she's on Etsy. She has other little things like miniatures, other cross-stitch designs as well. And then Blackbird Design, I have Frosty's Night Out. And I meant to share this in my Christmas video, but I forgot. So Frosty's Night Out, Blackbird Design. And I need to fully finish this little fella, but he is cute. And I hope to finish it. Let me show you how that's done. It is a drum, and it's done with a hat. As a hat, like it goes under a paper mache box that they made into a hat. So I'm gonna try to do that. We'll see how successful I am. And here's my Frosty. And so Frosty is stitched on 36 count in Dora by Needle and Flax. My colors and called for, so I did a little bit of a change on the whites and my called for, also the called for. So, okay. Next, I have Honey Love, and this is by Cherry Hill Stitchery, and it was in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine for this past summer, so 2023 summer issue. And it's Honey Love, Cherry Hill Stitchery. And this is the stitched piece. So this was a stitch we did for Louise's birthday. This was a perfect time for that since her birthday's in August. Enjoyed that very much. You can see I have a lot of FFOing to do. Okay, that was on a 32 count vintage smoky white, which is what it was called for, and it's 2/2 called for DMC. Then I had the privilege of stitching an out of print Blackbird Design, and that is Honeybee Hill. So I do not have the chart anymore. I have already stitched it and returned it. And I'm so thankful to Rebecca who did that for me. I belong to the Homespun Needlework group on Facebook, and you can join too. And every now and then Julie, the moderator, will say, post a picture of your unicorn chart, and maybe someone, you know, can share it with you, or maybe they want to sell it or whatever. And Rebecca was so kind to share it with me. She had never even stitched it. And so I lickety-split stitched both designs and got it back to her. So this is the pin pillow that goes inside the shaker box that the other design goes on top of. So this is Honeybee Hill. And I just watched Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, I believe is the name of her. Crosshatch Quilts. I think I've got that right. Sorry, Christy. She just finished these two, but she's got them fully finished. So you can go over there and see. She can show a picture of the chart, and then she has the pin pillow completed, and then she also has the top of her shaker box completed, and it's beautiful. She just posted a video today, so it's beautiful. I love it. I'm so thankful that I got to stitch it. So, Honeybee Hill by Blackbird Design. And that was stitched on, I believe I stitched it on 36 count navy bean by Lakeside, and I used the copper threads. Okay, next is Souvenirs of Summer. I had started this the summer of 2021, I believe. The piece that I stitched is called America. And I chose to stitch it on the 46 count oat that you can get from Hobby Lobby. And the thread color that I used was DMC 304. And again, I'm sorry for the wrinkles, but I finished it. And I had a mistake in this, and I went back and fixed the mistake. It just was not looking symmetrical, you know, correct. I know you're supposed to go forward, but I just could not leave it. So I ripped out and restitched and got it the way it's supposed to be. And then I added the 2023 at the bottom. So I'm very pleased with this one too. Excited to have that done. So again, 46 count. The oat from Hobby Lobby comes in a little package. It's a Zweigart based, and the DMC was 304. So it's kind of a cool, pretty red. All right, so the next one, let's see if I can still go in order here. Let's see, JBW 11 the round. Let's see if I can do this. So this chart I borrowed from Louise. It's kind of, sorry for the glare, but it's in a package, trying to keep it nice. So JBW 11 the round. And I chose to stitch it on a pretty pink even weave. I'm pretty sure it's the same pink that I used for the whirligig. And the floss that I used is Belsois Fresh Raspberries. So I'll hold that up for you. And there it is. So it's really coming out dark there, but the raspberry, the fresh raspberries, has a lot of pretty light pink in it that are hot. It's kind of a hot pink, but there's some good, maybe you can see some good variation there. I'll hold it that way. But very fun to stitch. Love all those little motifs that Judy manages to put in such a small space. Fantastic design, Miss Judy. All right, so 11 the round. And thank you, Louise, for letting me borrow the chart. All right, so next up, I have Float by Plum Street. And so Plum Street and Heartstring Samplery collaborated together, and they did these two charts, and I stitched Float first. And then next up this year will be Sting. And they both use the same floss, so that's really nice. I chose to use a natural linen 40 count, and these are the floss colors. And then this is Float. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm looking forward to getting the other ones stitched and then having them finished and displayed this spring and summer. I think they would be fine for both seasons. So again, that was a 40 count linen. It's called Natural Brown. I got it at Craft Gallery in Findlay, Ohio. And the threads are they're called 4DMC. And both charts use the same threads. So that's really nice. All right, next I did something last Friday that I've been wanting to try, and that was punch needle. And Louise and I, as you know, or if you're new here, I have a friend that lives down in Alabama, and we FaceTime. We've been FaceTiming on Fridays, most Fridays, since the summer of 2020. And we sew. We either quilt or sew or finish or cross stitch or punch needle, which was last Friday. So punch needle, let's share. My inspiration came, of course, from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And the design that inspired me was this little guy. But being my first time to punch, I knew that I did not want to tackle a design like this. Plus, Louise and I have also chosen some other designs that we want to punch. They're the seed packet design look that has been in the last year of this magazine, the 2023 year. Anyway, I knew I needed to start relatively small and relatively easy, like 2 colors. And so the peppermint, I thought the little round one would be perfect. So I just drew my own circle and drew my own little swirl lines to give me an idea of how to punch needle and how to trace and all that. So, you know, my design, this is what I drew. Just freehanded those middle lines. I did use, I think, a Creative Memories template again for the circle, and then freehanded the middle line. Transferred that to my weaver's cloth, and then I was able to punch my peppermint. And I just love the texture. It's like this little tiny rug. You can kind of see the little loops there. I've already put it on a piece of mat board that had some batting on it, and I laced it, and then I'm going to put a backing on it and make an ornament. I'm going to try an idea of putting some cellophane out here on either side to try to make it look like a twisted, you know, like a little candy cane that's in its little cellophane coating. So I'm going to try that and then make an ornament. And I have a red and white tree, so the ornaments are red and white typically. And so this is going to look fun on the tree next year. So I did my first punch needle, and thank you, Louise, for encouraging me. I really enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to doing the seed packets. All right, so let's see what's next. Oh, so the next thing, and the last FO, is another ribbon wood cottage design, and this one I can show you how she finished it. I've got some notes on here, but this is Ribbon Wood Cottage Designs, and that's the pattern that I chose. And let's see, does she have... No, she doesn't have like her Etsy shop name on here. But this is her Farmhouse Acres Christmas quilts. So, and again, it's on this 30 count mystery blue linen, and I had a ball stitching this. I just thought this was so fun. It was I loved seeing those quilts come together. Easiest quilting I've done. Yeah, it was really fun. And the little houses and the trees and the sleigh and the lantern and the wreath, I loved it all. So I did 2/2 on both of these ribbon wood designs because of the 30 count. I like the coverage. I like how the colors look. I'm not sure how I'll finish this. Maybe probably a little pillow again, but really enjoyed this. It was fun. Okay, so I took a short break to go make some supper and eat with my family, and I am back. So now I'm going to move into the portion that's like WIP parade / what I've been working on, because I don't have a ton of WIPs. I have more than I probably should, but I do enjoy having variety in my stitching. I am a seasonal stitcher, so that also lends me to having more projects to work on, because if it's not that season, sometimes I'm not as apt to work on it. So that plays into part of why I have some WIPs as well. So they're not really any particular order as far as the oldest or anything like that. I just started writing, pulling project bags and writing, and so I just thought I would share it with you that way. So the first one I'm going to share with you is Tetelestai by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and this is a stitch that many of you have probably seen if you've been watching her channel as well. I started it on Good Friday. It's almost been 2 years ago. I'm using a 36 count light mocha, and I am using sulky thread. And let's see, I need to get my board. Oh gosh, please excuse the wrinkles. I'm so sorry. I did not get this ironed. But I'll kind of do it. So I don't have a lot done on it, but it is a very pretty stitch. It is my current red sampler stitch. And the sulky that I'm using is a 12 weight, and I'll hold up the end of the spool so you can see the number. Maybe if I go out, so it comes up on a spool, and it's just, you just take it off the spool as is and stitch with it as is, just one strand. Like I said, it's a 12 weight. So this is Tetelestai on 36 count with the sulky 12 weight, one strand over 2. So I will get back to that. Planning on getting back to this probably starting around Ash Wednesday maybe, and that way I could potentially get it finished by Easter. That project bag, I'll share with you about it. This is the project bag that I made, and I have a tutorial with it, as well as the little scissor fob. And if you want the pattern for the scissor fob, it is a freebie that I offer, and I'm happy to send it to you. The tutorial is on my YouTube channel. All right, so the next one is going to be Prairie Schooler Santas, and I have it in this project bag. This is also one that I made, and it was a way to use this cross stitch design that had been stitched. I stitched this one, I believe, and it was a way to enjoy it, even though this is not really my style anymore as far as the precious moments, but I remember collecting them, and my mom had a homework store, and I have a lot of good memories with them, so it was fun to make this bag. So Prairie Schooler Santa, I have been stitching kind of with my own color conversion, and I also am using a fabric that's like an 18 count, And these are the two I'm stitching. Let me show you the cards too. So let's see the two cards. So I'm stitching this one. And I had a pretty big mistake with him, and so I had to start over in a part of him, not the whole thing. I'm also stitching this one. When I made a mistake in the other one, I started stitching this one. I was like, okay, why didn't you just fix it? But so I have since fixed it. And so there's the two Prairie Schooler Santas. I'm doing 2 over 2 on the 18 count, and I'm enjoying them. I'm in no real hurry, just enjoying them. Next, Lady Liberty by Blackbird Design. This is also in a project bag that I had made last year, and Lady Liberty was purchased at Hobby House Needleworks in Pittsburgh, New York, with my friend Lisa from Primzone Greenway. And Lisa has already finished hers, but she didn't finish it as a drum. So you need to go over to her Instagram feed and look at that, or her YouTube channel. She had a unique finish, and it's really, really pretty. But I plan to finish as a drum. My friend April with April Heirlooms, she's on Instagram. She has also finished hers, I believe. Definitely finished stitching. I'm not sure if she's fully finished it yet. I'm trying to remember April. All right. So I have the top finished, and then I'm working on the band. So get it a little closer. And I am really enjoying it. This is my only patriotic stitch I have going right now. And so Lady Liberty is stitched on 36 count vintage homespun by R&R with the called for threads. So just thoroughly enjoying it, and look forward to getting back to that. Called for threads are all Week Skyworks threads. The next one is called Making Beautiful Things, and this is by Teresa Kogut. I had the privilege of attending her retreat at Craft Gallery last Memorial Day weekend, and I'm so excited. I was so excited to get to meet her and attend. And let's see. So this is the pattern. Oh, sorry for the glare. It's a little girl with her sewing machine, and she has the Morning Glory and the stork scissors, and just so cute. Reminded me, the Morning Glories especially reminded me of my grandmother. She had Morning Glories growing on the side of their garage. So this is where I've gotten. I haven't worked on it in a while, so I definitely want to pick that back up this spring and work on it. I also have a rule that I can't attend, well, before I attend another retreat, I like to have the previous retreat stitches finished. So I have this one, and then she was so generous, she gave us 2. So there's actually another one. Let's see, do I have that pattern in here? I don't have that pattern in here, but it's a companion to this one. And it's a combination of DMC and Week Skyworks. And this fabric is, let me show you that again so you can see it, but it's 36 count paper bark by Fox and Rabbit. So it's a really beautiful neutral. And this was my first time stitching on Fox and Rabbit, and it's really, really nice. It's a beautiful linen. And Kathy with Carolina Cross Stitcher, she made that. And if you haven't visited Pete and Kathy on their YouTube channel, you should. Sweet people. Then I started with Louise and my friend Jan. We started Plum Street Cinnamon Stars. and they have finished theirs, and I am lagging behind. But like I said, I'm kind of a seasonal stitcher, so this one probably won't come back out again until next August or so. So, anyway, I got a good start on it, and I really like the variegation in my house. It's really pretty. So, and this is being stitched on 36 count navy beam by Lakeside, and the overdyed threads, combination of that and DMC. All right, next one is JBW French Country Flower Basket, and this was just kind of an experiment that I had. This is a little tiny project bag that I made. Some fabric, bee fabric. So this was kind of an experiment. So the one I'm talking about is this one. And I wanted to try this really beautiful watercolor, actually Water Lilies by Caron. I wanted to try them, and it's called Mountain Meadow. It's the name of the thread. And so let's see the best way to show you. So this is a piece of even weave that I have, and I was stitching over one. So that's the stitch, and then this is the little wad of silk. I need to take care of that a little better. But it's coming along. It really shows up well on the camera. It doesn't show up as well in person, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. I've already stitched this once in the pink, like a pinky red, I think. But I don't think I've finished it yet. That's another alliteration. Finish it Fridays. That may be coming. Louise, we might need to do that. Finish it Fridays. Okay. Let's see. Winter Rose Manor is my next one. And this is where I got a little bit out of order, so it's going to take me a minute to make sure I'm in order. So Winter Rose Manor, a pretty popular chart. A lot of people have stitched it. Just fantastic, beautiful with a needle and thread. And I am stitching mine on the called for fabric, which happens to be 36 count Brenda's Brew. And I'm using the called for threads with the exception of the white. It calls for roasted marshmallow, and I switched mine out for Classic Colorworks antique lace. And I've already used some of it, and I really like the coverage. So that's my start. And it's really, really pretty. It's a gorgeous chart. So, excuse me, I bumped my thing. Okay. I'm being careful to put everything back because, as you know, if we don't. Okay, the next one is The Heifer by Teresa Kogut. So my daughter, Jessica, loves cows. And when I saw this chart, I just thought, oh, I've got to stitch this for Jessica. So there it is. And just recently, the company that she works for, this past fall, bought about 10 heifers that were supposed to be bred. And on Monday afternoon, I think it was, Monday morning, there was a calf born, and then Monday afternoon, another was born. So, oh gosh, I have threads hanging off of this one. All right, so Weeks Aztec Red in the 40 count. Oh my goodness, wrinkles. That will be better. And then the called for DMC threads. So it's coming along. It's not too much more to stitch. Just finishing up those vines and the flowers. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer so sorry for all my hanging threads, but it is really cute. So again, this is Weeks Dye Works Aztec Red with the DMC Call for threads. So I'll get that done for her. And she doesn't know about it. But I think she'll like it. But it's a funny story about the cows. So when she first got to work on Monday, I think it was Monday, there's 10 of them. And so they were kind of all in a circle. And then she said they started peeling off and there were 2 left. And the one had her baby. Well, the other one, she said, looked like she was ready to go anytime. But she kept pushing the other mama out of the way, and the baby was nursing on her and not the mama that had the baby. She was like confused, like she had already had her baby, and when in fact she had not. So anyway, later that afternoon, she had her baby. So it's just kind of funny. All right. When Flowers Bloom is the next one. And I'm stitching this with Louise. We're both stitching it. And then I borrowed the chart, so I don't have a picture of the front cover right now. But this is a with thy needle and thread. And this is my progress. This is on a 40 count Necessity by Mystic Fibers. And I'm using the Call for threads. So there's my start on it. And it's really fun to work on. So Louise, we got to get back to this one. Springtime stitching. All right. Quaker Garden by Blackbird Designs. This is a new one for me. This is a New Year's start with my friend Teresa from Jersey Girl Stitch Co. So this is pattern. I was gifted this pattern at a retreat that I attended with Alma at Craft Gallery in 2021. So that's how I was able to get the chart. Maybe she'll release it. I know so many people have wanted to stitch it. So I'm doing something a little different. I don't have the called for fabrics, and I'm kind of playing around with the thread colors because I had some of them and some of them I did not. So, just see how it goes. I'm still trying to decide on my white. I'm trying to decide on my other colors. So I kind of have a palette here. Well, one of those whites. I don't know which. I'll have to look and see which one I used. Anyway. I have some Palomino in another chart that's being used, and when that Palomino is finished, I'm going to switch it over to this project. It calls for Palomino, so it's kind of a browny green color, and so it was supposed to be the majority of this moth or butterfly. And I wound up using the toasted barley on it, and it's okay. And I probably won't rip it out. I'll probably just leave it and just continue. But if I get the Palomino, I think it is used in the alphabet part, and I will use it there as it's called for. So I just wanted to try some of the colors and make sure they were showing up on the screen. This is an even weave, or actually it's a linen. I believe I decided it was a 30 count linen, and it's kind of it's just a soft green, so I thought it would be nice with these colors. So I'm doing 1/1, and that might be part of it, that just trying to show up, especially on the with the white. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep stitching and see how it goes, but I do love it. It's very, very pretty. And it just might just be a soft palette for more of a spring type stitch. So, and I get to stitch it with my friend Teresa, so that's really fun. Okay, so
So that was number 11. I don't know if you're keeping track or not. So we're going to move on to the next page. And this was another recent start. I started this New Year's Eve. And this is in a pretty bag by my friend April. And this is Samplers Not Forgotten, a floral heart kit. And I don't buy kits very often, but when I was at Hobby House, it was a treat. So I did buy this kit, and I just think it is beautiful. It has everything in it, including the charms, the one charm. And this is something I got for Christmas. I wanted to try the Lucky Jonquil floss drops. And so I put all of my floss on the floss drops. And I need to still put the name or the number on them. You can use a permanent marker, but it will wipe off with, I believe she said, a rubbing alcohol. You can wipe them off. So I'm going to try that. But this is the color palette for the heart. And I got a pretty good start on it. It's just beautiful colors. Maybe I'll lay those back up here so you can see them against the linen. So these are acrylic floss drops, and then just trying them out. But isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. So I'm excited to get that done for Valentine's. It was fun to get the whole kit. It came with everything that you would need to finish it, for the trim and the backing and the little charm and the pink bow. Next, consider the lilies. And so let's see. You all are familiar with this. I'll show you the book in case you're not. This is a gorgeous project bag by my friend Louise. Blackbird fabric. Beautiful sampler fabric on the back. And this is Consider the Lilies. So she is the biggest sampler that I have going right now. And I typically stitch her on Sunday. And as you can imagine, she has quite the color palette. And it's pretty extensive. I'm using a combination of DMC and call for variegation, or call for overdyed, where I thought I would really like to see the variegation. So that would be in the vines and in the lilies, and then in some of the motifs as well. So I've gotten quite a bit done on her, so I won't be able to use the design board on the back of it. So the border is all the way around, and then I have completed all the motifs on this one side for the top half, and then working over. It is such a beautiful piece, so I'm excited to continue it this year. I knew going in that it was going to be a long-term project. It wasn't going to be something that I would just stitch on monogamously. So, well, who knows? You never know. I might decide to pick it up more during the week as well. Okay, next will be Christmas stamps, and I have been working on this. Started it last year. Didn't know if I would finish it this year or not, and I didn't, but I did show this in my Christmas, I think, last video. I showed the ones that I had finished. So I'm up to number 11. So the next one that I would stitch is the little cardinal, number 12. Like, this is the back. I will finish them individually, probably. Something similar to this. I really like the individual and being able to hang them either on a garland, kind of like I did on my Christmas video. I showed them hanging on a garland with the yo-yo garland and the greenery. So I don't have one going at the moment, but it is an ongoing project. So number 12 is one I have to do. I can show you, I'll show you a couple of them. So the last 3 that I did, I'll show you. So this is a little Christmas. It's Christmas, and I need my board because it's not showing up. It says Christmas. And then a cute little snowman. And I'll show you the gingerbread man. He's really cute. So these are stitched on, let's see, 36 count flax by Zweigart, and I'm just using some of what she called for and some of my own colors. Okay, the next one is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This is one that Wanda, Louise, and I started. Wanda and Louise are the same person, and then she calls me Louise. So if you're confused, that's typical. A lot of people were confused about all that. Primitive Stitcher, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. We are doing this one, and this is by Teresa Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler. And Louise has finished hers. I have not. Because I squirrel all the time. But I am happy to say I have the words done, and it is very pretty. I really like that. So now I just get to do all the little doodads and snow, and there's a real pretty garland at the top. You can't really see it that well in the picture, but at the top there where the little buttons are, there's a garland. So looking forward to getting back to this. It's a really fun stitch. Then I have Enchanting Moments by Paula Vaughn. So this is the bag that I'm using to hold all of my thread, because this is a big girl and she has a lot of thread. And if you've ever done a Paula Vaughn, you know that there's a lot of shading and back stitching and half stitches, 3/4 stitches. This particular cross stitch my granny stitched, and so it was a great way to be able to see it on a regular basis by making a project bag that I would be using. So the Enchanted Moments that I'm doing, maybe I'll just show you the back. Okay, so At Home with Paula Vaughn is the book, and then the very bottom there is the one I'm working on. Okay, so, and I'm doing this as a stitch along with Christine of Hollis Hands Creates, and this is my progress. So I'm working on the hat band, or the brim, and the roses, and starting on some of the ribbon. So this is on 36 count Winter Moon, and I'm using the Call for DMC colors. All right, Freedom Flowers is next. Freedom Flowers is out of a book. This is the bag that this whole group is in. It's out of a book by Susan Aki called Summer Memories. And it came out last year, and I'm so excited to get it. So this is the book. And these are the cross stitch pieces. And honestly, I don't know if I've shown any of the ones I've finished yet. Let's see. I'll just show them to you because don't know if I've shown them to you. I may have. Okay, so I'll try to show a couple at a time. So obviously there's a lot of FFOing that needs to happen soon. So there's 3 of them. So that pinkish fabric is one that I've got at Hobby House, and it is Chai Linen by Seraphim. It's a 32 count. That's the pink with the little tree, cherry tree at the top. I think everything I'm using is 32 count. Okay, let me show you the rest here that I have stitched. I think they'll all stay. So those are the other 3 that I have stitched. And the gingham came from Fat Quarter Shop, and I split this with my friend. It's Fabric Flare. I split it with a friend. And let's see if there's any more. I don't know if I have any more in here or not. It's been a while since I worked on this. Sorry for the crinkle. The blue that I'm using is Belfast Linen 32 count Blue Whisper. So any of them that had the blue, let's see. Okay, so the Proud and True is done on that blue. And then the threads I'm using are the Summer Memories Floss by Aurifil. So those are the flosses. Those are the colors. And they've been a lot of fun to work with. It was fun just to have the whole little kit. And then the current one that I'm stitching, which I don't have a lot of stitching done on it, is called the Freedom Flowers. So it's that one. And so I have hardly anything started on it, but there it is. So I have that one to finish. I have the one from Sea to Shining Sea, and then I have the little ship to finish, and then I will be done with these. This is the little ship. I'll show it to you without showing you the pattern. And then from Sea to Shining Sea. So I have basically 3 to finish. So really enjoying those, and that'll be fun to have out this 4th of July, or really late May through the end of July. It's a great time to display those. Okay, I've shown you this one before, and I haven't done anything with it. So this is Cardinal Wreath. This is a Mill Hill kit, and I still love it. I still want to finish it. I'm not doing it on the perforated paper. I am doing it on like a 32 count linen of some sort, or an antique linen. I think it's like a 32 count. So I hope to get back to it. I've started some beading on it, but I haven't worked on it at all since I last talked to you about it. So I just want to do when I finish, though. Okay, so the next one I had put down here Farmhouse Acres Christmas quilts, but that became a finish because I had organized this and while I was stitching on that one, and I finished it. So the next one I want to share with you is Strawberry Biscornu. I don't have a picture of it, but I will try to insert one. The Saturday Stitchers had decided to stitch a Biscornu, and I chose Doreen Jones Strawberry Biscornu. It's on her Facebook page. It's a freebie. If you go to her Facebook page and you click on, like if you join her group, I don't know if you have to join or not, but I would assume you do. So go to Facebook, Doreen Jones. It's D-U-R-E-N-E Jones. And you click on her photos, and then there's albums under her photos, and under the 2021 year, the Strawberry Biscornu is there. You can also do a hashtag Biscornu on Instagram, and you see all kinds of beautiful Biscornus, and you will see a strawberry one. It's pretty big, 4 big strawberries and 4 kind of medium-sized strawberries, and they're real bright, pretty, cheery colors. So you'll be able to see. I've started the green. I've got some of the caps done. So this will be a strawberry, like right here and right here and right here, and then it goes all the way around. So this is the top of it, and I'm stitching this on a 32 count antique white with a call for DMC. And I can show you some of those colors. I pulled some of them working on another project, but so like these are some of them. And my little floss ring just fell apart. Okay, so B52 is the white. I've got 906, 907, 16. I don't know if I've ever used 16, DMC 16. And then the pretty yellow DMC 726. And then there's reds in there too, and I'm not sure what happened to my reds, but we'll get them. So anyway, the Saturday Stitchers are doing that. So if you're a Saturday Stitcher, Wanda, Chrissy, Celeste, Kim, and April, I just spoiled it for you. But anyway, we're going to reveal when we meet again. I'll have more stitching done by then. Okay, so the last WIP that I have is something I actually started this week as well, and it is going to be, it's my blessing sampler, even though I didn't start it January 1st. So there's a thing called a blessing sampler, and you start it January 1st and you finish it by the end of January, and it's supposed to be a blessing to you. So as you know, or if you're new to my channel, I have been wanting to stitch samplers that have the year 1866. That was 100 years before I was born, so now you know my age. And anyway, I have done 2 so far. I have done Margaret Beatty circa 1866, so they think that's about when she stitched it. I finished that, Hands Across the Sea. I showed that in my last video, and when I get it fully finished, I'll show it to you, but it's finished. It just needs to be framed. And then I also did another one, and I am blanking on which one it is. But anyway, it's a small sampler, and then this one is small. This is one from the Wishing Thorn. This is a kit, and let me get the picture for you. This is Fiona Rutherford. Sorry for the crinkle. See if I can get the picture here. So Birgit had a full kit, so I ordered the kit, Fiona Rutherford sampler 1866, and it's a tiny sampler. It is done 1/1 on 32 count, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. And I noticed when I watched Shelly from Antique Needleworkers that she had recently purchased this, and so I reached out to her last night and said, "Hey Shelly, you want to start this with me?" And she's like, "Yes, I do." So anyway, I'm excited that Shelly's going to be joining me. I do have a little thread hanging there, but all right. So this is 32 count Belfast Vintage Country Mocha. It is 4 DMC threads. Let me pull those out for you. So This is 3022, 924, 838, and 221. So beautiful DMC colors. And I'll try to... And there's my start on that little border. So tiny, tiny, tiny. So, yeah. Not quite all the way across. There's just a couple of more to go across, and of the little red 4 stitches there. I think there's 2 more, and then that's the end. And then there's quite a few more to go down to the bottom. And then I wanted to share with you about these floss tags that I made. You can see it's a rooster with a calendar. And I've done these before. And so if you're familiar with Lang calendars, that would be L-A-N-G, they come, Hobby Lobby has them, carries some of the line, and they come in a sleeve. And on the back of the sleeve is an example of all the pictures of each month and the little calendar part, the picture in the calendar. And it's on the back of the sleeve. So when you pull the calendar out, there's this sleeve that's left. And I cut all of those out, the 12 of them, and make floss tags out of them. And it's just another way to enjoy my calendar through the year, and a great way to recycle. So that's where those came from. So I am enjoying Fiona Rutherford by the Wishing Thorn. Thank you, Bearcat, for such a beautiful chart. All right, so that is the end of the WIP parade. That's all that I have. I have 20 things going right now, and way more to finish. Yeah, okay. So plans. So that I've talked a little bit about this already. The Saturday Stitchers doing the Biscorn New. Doreen Jones is mine. Free chart, Facebook 21, that group of pictures. 32 count antique white, the call for DMC 2/2. So I showed you that. Then another plan that I'm thinking about is stitching an ornament or a small stitch a month to coordinate with my Bible study that I'm doing this year. And this kind of goes in with my encouraging word that I want to share later too. But I'm coming down to an end here. But I am studying the fruits of the Spirit this year, or the fruit of the Spirit this year, and that's in Galatians 5, 22 and 23. And for January, I'm just starting right as the scripture flows. So January, I'm studying love. And so I thought it would be fun to coordinate a small ornament or some kind of stitch, or even just the word as an ornament or remembrance of my study for that month. And so Love in the Round was perfect for that. So I feel like I've got that. I may try to do another one where I just have the word. So thinking about that may be a plan that would go forward. It's going to be pretty easy with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. I have a little kindness sampler that would be really cute. But as you get into the word gentleness and goodness and faithfulness and self-control, so some of those types of words, they're really long. So I may have to get kind of creative of how I would incorporate that into my stitching. And so that as I'm stitching, even when I'm stitching, I'm thinking of those words that I'm trying to study that month and really be mindful of that month. And then when I get to October, I was considering stitching the whole verse, or finding a pattern that has the whole verse, or me designing a pattern that has the whole verse. Then November, I would stitch Thanksgiving, something to do with Thanksgiving. And then December, I would do Emmanuel, God with Us. So still focusing on things that would draw me back to those scriptures and those fruits, the fruit. And then I watched Jerry call about a cross stitcher the other day, and she's announced the winter cross stitch camp, and I like to participate in that. And I have a small piece chosen for that, and it is a drawn thread, and it's called Spot of Winter, and I think I might have it right here. Let's see, I do. So Spot of Winter is right here, and it's really cute. You're supposed to have a little animal or a little bird in your stitching, and so those two little birds will be perfect. So that's the plan, and that starts in February. You post a picture and use the two hashtags that Sherry shares with you. You post a picture of your linen, your chart, and your thread on the first day, or not before the first day, but February 1st and beyond. Stitch it, and then you post another picture when you finish it prior to February 20, like on February 29th. We have a leap year this year, so we have an extra day by February 29th. And then she has little prizes sometimes. All right. And then also, Louise let me borrow Mr. Marshmallow. And so I would like to, and I don't see Mr. Marshmallow. Where is he? Here he is. So Mr. Marshmallow is a with thy needle and thread. I would like to start him. Let's see. And he's a lot of stitching though. So I don't know if I would get that far. So we'll see. I also have Wordplay that my friend April let me borrow. So yeah, definitely ones that I want to stitch. So I want to share some shop news with you. So I have, as I mentioned before, I have So Just Because, and a lot of that entails sewing, which would also include my pin cushions. And then I have my patterns. I have 2 cross stitch patterns that are the silhouettes, and I'll share those with you. And then I have 2 wool applique patterns, which are actually incorporated into one pattern, but I have 2 separate kits. So I want to share those with you again, refresh your memory. I know that Kim, the Contented Needleworker, Kim, on her last FlossTube, shared her little needle book that she had made with the silhouettes and mentioned how to contact me. And so all you have to do is, if you're interested in my patterns right now, what you have to do is you have to email me, and my email is in the description box. And you let me know if you want a PDF or if you want a hard copy. I bill through PayPal, and then I ship it out to you. There is a small shipping and handling, usually for your pattern, if they're hard copies. If they're PDFs, then no. Then I just get them to you. So the first pattern that I published would be the wool applique pattern. So let me share those with you. And it's called the Sunny Days Eyeglass Cases. And so you see the sunflower there, and then the hydrangea. And you have the pattern instructions here. You can buy just the pattern, or you can buy a kit if you like. I have 2 kits of the hydrangea left and 1 kit of the sunflower left. So there's the sunflower, and it's everything you need to make it. All the pieces are even cut, so if you want to make it, the thread, the needles in here, yeah, everything you need to make it. So there's the hydrangea. And these are wools from my stash, but they're also wools that I purchased locally. The shop's no longer local. It has been sold and it has moved. But I was able to needle felt some of this on a huge needle felting machine. And so anyway, if you're interested in these make great gifts, especially if you think ahead with Mother's Day even. These make great gifts, and I have, like I said, I have 2 kits for the hydrangea, 1 kit for the sunflower left. For the souvenir stitches, so this is a colorway. This is the black colorway for souvenir stitches, the bicycle built for two. These are Jersey Girl Stitch Co pins. Aren't they beautiful? All right, so finished as a little pillow. I cut the back and stuffed it and then put a little yo-yo on the back because you know I love yo-yos. Okay, and then this was the new way I did it. So this was kind of the updated version. And so this is the horse and buggy, and I used a color and cotton thread, and then used a Hobby Lobby box to finish it in on a diagonal. This is a piece of quilting cotton, the little print, and then it's got some rickrack on the edge, and then at the top there you've got a bow and a covered button. And this was a spring box. This is the box that I used, if you wanted to look at that. And so this is the souvenir stitches pattern. And there's the two on the back. And then this is the horse and buggy pattern. The two on the back. And then my latest pattern is the Sherbert Milk Glass Pincushions. So I recently taught a class at Craft Gallery back in October, the end of October, and we had 3 ladies attend, and it was so much fun and thoroughly enjoyed it. I've reached out to a shop down in Florida. I'm waiting to hear back from to see if they might be interested in hosting a class. And I will keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, if you happen to have one of the lace edge Sherbert size milk glass, this one this pattern you can use for that. And I've got one right here I can show you. This was one. And Jersey Girl Stitch Co. pins in there. And I have another one right here. She made this set of pins especially for this class. Just beautiful. Thank you, Teresa and Anna. So this is my latest pattern, Sherbert Milk Glass Pincushions. So if you're interested in those, you're welcome to reach out to me. Like I said, by email. You can also message me on Instagram, but I'm going to direct you back to my email. If you can email me, that's the best way to get a hold of me. And my email is SewJustBeeCuzz, and it's SewBee, excuse me, So SEW, just, the word just, BeeCuzz @gmail.com. So SewJustBeeCuzz. Okay, so I wanted to share a little bit of haul with you. I don't do this a lot, but I've had quite a few things I wanted to share with you, and I thought it would be fun to go through, and I like to see what other people get, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and share. So this is from a little boutique in Reno. Recently, my husband and I took a trip to Reno, Nevada for our 30th wedding anniversary, and I got to do a little shopping and found some really pretty things. So this is a pretty little snowflake doily. Oh, I just thought that was so pretty. And some really pretty lace, vintage looking lace. And if any of you are watching Linen and Scraps, so Kathy shares some of the most amazing things that she finds, and she recently shared, I don't know what video it was, it's probably before the second knee replacement, maybe before the first knee replacement. She shared about Petit-Point little clutches or purses, and
I thought I would love to find one of those. Well, in Reno, I found one. And so it just was exquisite. So pretty and a really good price. I even texted Kathy while I was there. I was like, is this a good price? Is this reasonable? And she was sweet to answer. So it's got like a little, just a little purse. And it'd be great to make a little sewing kit and have that with you. Sewing kit. So that was one thing I wanted to share with you. I thought that was neat. The other thing I wanted to share with you, let's see, what else? I've got a lot of things in this bucket that I'm not going to share everything, but let's see. So I have a book of days. I'm going to try the book of days this year. This is the first time I've ever tried it. And I took some tips from Colorado Cross Stitcher Sherry, where she takes hers and has it bound and adds pages to it. So I decided to add pages to mine too. And I want to use it as a journal for my stitching. And so I've not put a ton of stickers, but I put a few in here and then started keeping track of what I've been stitching. And then along with that, I asked for Christmas a little printer to print pictures from my phone so that I could keep track of finishes better, document my finishes, and that would be fully finished items that I would document and print a picture for. So I'm excited to try this. I've not had a book of days before. This will be my first time. I'm hoping that I can keep track and stay on top of it. I do want to track some of the other things that Sherry had suggested in some of her floss tubes. I would say it's around 2021, beginning of January, that she talks about this, and then 2022 she talks about it again. But there's place for friends retreats and projects, other adventures. You can tell I like Christmas because I already put Christmas stickers in my December. I found a lined page that I'd like to put maybe plans or finishes on that page, but then I also have blank pages where I can put that are slightly colored, or I have one that's printed in here where I would put the pictures and document that. Contact addresses, websites, and other useful resources. So it's a really, really nice book. I did take mine to Office Depot and put the clear cover on it like Sherry does to protect it, and the binding. So really pleased with how that came out. Wasn't sure about having someone put the binding on there, and what they had me do is they had me cut it in half, take the staples out, cut it in half, which I'm kind of glad they did that because I could be precise and make sure I knew where I was cutting it and I was getting it even. And then I could put my pages in the book exactly where I wanted them, and I just handed them the whole book like that. Took it to the lady. She could just immediately take it to the machine that punches the holes for the spiral bound, and she had it done for me within less than 10 minutes. I was out of there, and it was $6 to add the clear cover on it and the spiral. So I was very pleased. Louise made me a beautiful binder for Christmas. Isn't it cute? I just love it. Buzz Buzz. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see it. We were actually able to see each other at Christmas time because she lives in the same town that my daughter does. So that was special. I'll open it up for you, and I have things in it already. Projects. And I guess you can imagine they're bee projects. So that's actually a bee project that she gave me on another occasion. And then this is a shepherd's bush that's ready and kitted, and I've got my floss ready to go. So, and I believe this is a pattern keeper that was a pattern that she used was by Carrie of Tiger Lily Designs. So great job, Louise. I love it. All right, let's see what else. So I attended the Jingle Bell Ball. I think I mentioned that. So I did get the book for that. And it has the ornaments in it that they promise, of course. So I'm excited to try some of those. And then while I was there, I went ahead and bought the Sing We Joyous All Together by Heartstring Samplery. And I've stitched the other piece that is kind of a companion to this one last year. The Saturday Stitchers stitched that one. And did a little bit of thrifting when I was down there and found this really cute Needle Love book. Love the perforated paper. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Found the JBW design that was, I think it's probably out of print, Miss Judy, I don't know. But the heart spoke to me, being close to Valentine's. And then Homespun Elegance. A little snowman, very cute. And then for Christmas, I had asked for these two books for Christmas. Friendship's Garden by Blackbird Design. So there's quite a few applique quilts in here, and then look at the back. Look at that. Love that BeeCuzz. That's so fun. Let's see what else I can show you in here. Lots of little pin pillows, very cute. Let's see, go to some other color pictures. This is the quilt. Isn't that pretty? Love that big basket. Just beautiful. Beautiful applique. So there's that one. This was a 2003. So this is almost 21 years old. And then In Full Bloom, this one came out in 2022, I think. I believe this is probably the last, this is the last book that Barb and Alma worked on together. So this is fairly new. But I did not have it, and I was excited to get it. But oh my goodness, just beautiful projects. I really like this fresh picked piece. Look at all the rickrack stems. Isn't that pretty? Just beautiful books. So Stitchy Kindness. Daleen said if we wanted a postcard from her, we could email her, and I wanted this postcard. That is the cutest postcard. Look at Maisie. Is that not the cutest thing? Make a joyful noise. Daleen is so sweet, and she is so joyful, and oh my goodness, it was just so fun to get that in the mail, even if I did request it. Okay, so my friend Janan, so sweet, she made this adorable needle book. Look at that. Sent it to me. I had let her borrow one of my patterns, and this is what came back with the pattern. So when you undo it, and if you're not following Janan, you need to follow Janan. She is on Instagram, Vintage Blossom, let's see, Vintage Bloom. Janan, I'm messing this up, so I will put it in the show notes. How about that? And it won't be messed up. Janan. So you need to follow Vintage Blossom Designs, I think. Anyway, adorable. little book. It's got little pockets. Very cute. Thank you, Janan. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Just fun things here. That's Janan's card. And a fun card from Misty. I want to stitch that bird. I need to get him out and stitch that. This is, let's see. I think this is from my friend. Y'all don't know them. Oh, my friend Barbara. I love that. Congratulations to your daughter. I'm so excited for her. All right. And I did start collecting a few more things and then we'll be done. Okay. So I started collecting these charts. These are Summer House Stitchworks Fragments of Time 2023. This is number 1. Yep. This is number 1. This is number 2. And I will probably, I will be finishing that collection. There's a BeeCuzz. There's a beautiful, I think, flower urn. There's a swan. There's some really pretty ones. So Louise also, besides her little book, she made a little tray to put your orts in. And then she made this really cute scissor bling, or you could put it on your project bag or your scissor fob, but it has my initials, it has the year, it has all kinds of cute little, and she got her inspiration from Miss Kathy Lounsbury. So very cute. Thank you. All right, so we have a giveaway this time, and I want to make sure that you all know, remember what that was. So it is the Heart and Hand Love Whirligig, and I'm going to be giving this away because I have 2 of them and I've already stitched it. And I showed you the finished piece, or my finished piece. So what you're gonna get is this chart, and the word that you're going to use is whirl, W-H-I-R-L. And remember, you must be 18 because I have to ask for your address, and you should not say any of those words that we don't use when we're talking about giveaways. And you can just leave it in your comment. You don't have to make a sentence with it or anything, but leave it in your comment, and I will do a random comment picker. And the next time I film for a regular FlossTube, we will give that away. And then I did a tease on my Tuesday tutorials. I do want to do Tuesday tutorials. I love that alliteration. So I'm going to give you a heads up on what you might need. So perforated paper, and it can be brown or the white, either one. I have some white right here, and this happens to be does it say what count it is? Yeah, it does. It says 18 count white. So you could have the 18 count white if you want. This is 14 count of the brown. And these are the colors of a fold over elastic that I have in my possession. And so based on the holiday that's coming up, hint, hint. And then this perforated paper, and then you'll probably need basic little paper scissors and floss in similar colors. Trying to think of materials that you would need. Probably will use comic book board if you have any of that available, or you could possibly use like a old cereal box This is not going to be anything real archival, but I thought you might enjoy a quick tutorial. It might be fun. So those are my hints. I'm hoping to have that filmed soon so that it can be posted this Tuesday coming up, which would be January the 16th. Okay? All right. So, encouraging word. I have that to share with you, and then I'm going to let you go. This is going to be a very long video, but I want to share my encouraging word. So this goes along with my study of the fruit of the Spirit, and one of the interesting things about the word love, it can be love in action, which would be a verb, or it can be love as a noun. And so right now I'm studying love in action as a verb. And one of the scriptures that I was directed to when I was studying was Deuteronomy 6:5. And it states, "And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might." And so that's one of the things I'm working toward. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. I thank you for sticking with me for a segment in the beginning, and then my supper break, and then a longer segment at the end. If I went too fast for you on some of the things, if you wanted to see more, I know I didn't show a lot of the thread hanging and all that, but if you have questions about that, I'd be happy to help. If you have questions about my faith, I'd be happy to talk to you about that as well. If you just need some encouragement, email me. You can message me on Instagram. I'm at so_just_because. So_just_because on Instagram. I'll put that in the show notes as well. I hope to be on a regular schedule to do my FlossTube, because I think that's important. It helps. If you know of people that might enjoy my channel, I'd love for you to share my channel. If you're not subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. In order to win the giveaway, remember, you have to be subscribed, and it has to be public so I can see it. So please remember that. Thank you again for joining me. Happy New Year. I hope you're enjoying your stitching. I hope that you are doing well. I so appreciate all the comments. It's such encouragement. I love visiting with you and commenting back, and letting you know how much I appreciate you watching and taking the time. I know there's so many FlossTubers out there, wonderful FlossTubers, and fun ones to watch and regulars to watch, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch me. So bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.